Mr. and Mrs. Shandy are already downstairs.
I'm just getting ready.
And so you just say it, or shout it, or sing it, or whistle it, or hum it, or bite it, kick it, or convey it to me. And when you've done that, I will know that you're here. And if you're not here, just say the name. That's the best way to do it.
Every year, around 60 music undergraduates start their time at the University of York with the Practical Project. Friendships are made from the start as students are thrown together to perform, and in this case also devise a musical production. And what better way to start than throwing each other's shoes around?
We're going to throw the shoe round the room in the same order each time. So all you have to remember is who you threw it to and who you received it from.
This year's project is led by Professor Roger Marsh and PhD student Morag Galloway, and is an attempt at staging Laurence Sterne's renowned novel The Life and Opinions of Tristram Shandy, Gentleman. So how did this idea come about?
Patrick Wildgust, who is the curator at Shandy Hall, emailed me to say that the 250th anniversary of the publication of the first 2 volumes of Tristram Shandy was this year, 2009, and that did I know that there is a lot of musical allusion in the book, and would I be interested in doing some kind of musical presentation, and could we talk about it? And I went up to Shandy Hall, and over lunch and wandering around the village to go and see the grave at the church and all of that, we talked, and I realised there were so many possibilities offered by this novel that doing a concert wouldn't be enough. And I said, if we can swing it, can we make it the Practical Project?
Roger is interested in literature working with music, but why are works such as Tristram Shandy apt for musical treatment?
They don't depend on the usual kind of formulas of descriptive writing, for example. The narrative is not logical, and so they become a little bit more like music. Same would be true of Samuel Beckett, for example. They become a kind of musical literature because quite often the logic is in the placement of things, the repetition of things, the paraphrasing of things, and that's where the interest is rather than in the strict detail of the narrative.
So the students are faced with a non-narrative 250-year-old revolutionary novel. Maybe they would have preferred something a little simpler?
But what you couldn't do is what you can do with Tristram Shandy, which is just grab things from it and turn them into something else and make something which feels kind of contemporary and exciting and musical, but doesn't necessarily tell the story. And the difficult thing would be telling the story, because there really isn't one.
The students have a novel on their hands, with no story, many characters, and freedom to do what they like with it. In the first session, only 30 days before the opening night, the students get down to work with a sheet prepared by project leaders Morag and Roger.
Whilst a lot of what you're given to work from is text-based, you do not have to produce a piece of theatre that is just the spoken word. Okay? You can do anything you want with the stuff that's here. Alright? Anything you want.
Overwhelmed by the scope and freedom of the project, the students are immediately placed in a working situation. Put into groups, they are tasked with producing 2 minutes of devised theatre. With some text, some time, and some idea of what the story is all about, the groups approach their first activity in different ways. Some stick with what they know best and dive straight into music.
It is literally just...
What chord is that?
F minor.
Right, okay, and then C.
Well then, with the odd.
Whilst others discuss the dramatic side of the material given to them.
Go for it!
Maybe someone could be in the middle saying it, and then it's like call and response. Someone's on the stage saying it, and you lot say it as you walk down or something.
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
Don't spend all this time just talking about ideas, try some things out, okay? You need to get some stuff tried before the coffee. If you spend too much time talking, you'll have these ideas, but you'll not know if any of them work. And you need to know if some of them work before the coffee break.
Some groups go straight into a dramatic action.
What would people find funny in dying? What's dying comically?
Well, I think maybe I can see them while laughing at a really funny joke.
And then you die from a great height.
Yeah.
Should we try that out?
The sheet which students are working from contains extracts from sources other than Tristram Shandy, one of which several groups latch onto.
Disgustingly, looked his new genitals in the eye. Charmingly, or from a great height.
You could just run across the stage.
You should stand on a chair and just jump around.
The quirkiness of Tristram Shandy starts to come out as groups move around the various texts in ways which reflect the twisting plot lines of the novel. But whilst the students have already begun to move away from Sterne's original, the spirit of it is ever present.
Well, they have to exploit whatever talent is given to them.
The talent is dying.
And knocked him around the swamps with a dirty shovel.
But if the water comes to him and drowns him, he drowns not himself.
In showcasing their work after only a few hours of rehearsals, the talent of the students comes through.
It all boils down to the symptoms.
Each of their individual strengths will be used in the final show, and some of those who clearly excel as actors in the first few days will end up filling major acting roles.
Sighs of a lovesick schoolboy, stabbing the elderly, and hints of claustrophobia.
Similarly, some ideas that come out in these early days of the project will remain until the end.
I'm absolutely blown away by that. I mean, to go from nothing to that. My sort of wildest hope was that there would be one or two things that came out of this morning that we kind of like enough to want to keep. I think there were loads of things there. There are hundreds of mules, horses, donkeys, asses, all the way through the book. We can't get away without somehow representing horses, asses, mules and donkeys. The 50 streets, the houses, I mean, there's so much potential in that. You can't lose that because, you know, with a little bit of fancy cardboard work, that could be absolutely brilliant. What else? Well, the hobby horses, you know, like the mules, a lot of ideas kept sort of coming back. The number